Joshua did not want this fight. And he didn't want it for a reason, because Deontay Wilder is the most fiercest puncher in boxing history.
So, according to BoxRec, a no contest is a fight that is ended before its scheduled duration, but excludes a knockout or a technical knockout ending, or accidental foul, or under unusual circumstances. That's where you get a no contest, an NC. See also no decision is what BoxRec says. Well, no decision says that, according to BoxRec, it was changed. It was made to stop gambling, and also so that champions can remain a champion even if they lose. They can just say, "Hey, I want this fight to be a no decision." So, if I get my ass whipped, then I still keep my title. For lack of a better term. Nowadays, no decisions and no contests come into play when it comes to drug testing. So if someone is caught on drugs after a fight, then the fight is considered a no contest or a no decision. But there's still some pay for play going on nowadays, because these stupid fans that don't want to look at things, that prefer to just let someone tell them what it is, instead of doing their own research, will just go ahead and stick with anybody they want to stick with just because they hate someone else. Looking at what makes a no contest, this is what it says. A no contest is an official fight result used in sanctioned boxing events. A no contest occurs when the fight must be ended for a reason deemed out of the control of both fighters. Neither a winner or a loser is deemed the result of a no contest boxing match. The reasons for a no contest decision vary, but the impetus for the fight to end must be either an act of God or directly related to the efforts of the fighters themselves. Here's a non-exhaustive list of reasons a fight would be called a no contest. And then, it made some examples, but one of them is the one that stood out to me. Number 4, a positive drug test or dishonest behavior of one or both participants. Well, if that's the case, then we should see proven drug cheats with no contest and no decisions on their resumes. So let's just take a peek. Francis Botha. Now, Francis Botha cheated Axel Schultz. He was caught on nandrolone and stripped of the title that he won, the IBF title that he won, when he beat Axel Schultz. Now, he made up a bunch of nonsense, but, let's just take a peek at what he said, or what was said. Francis Botha, the South African, has tested positive for a banned anabolic steroid, nandrolone, after he won the IBF heavyweight championship last month. It wasn't just a question of finding traces. We found large quantities. President of the German blah, blah, blah. Botha denied any wrongdoing. What he said is, "I have done nothing wrong because I have not taken any steroid. The test was done by a German laboratory. The IBF is in America. That's the only thing that counts." He then went on to say, the urine sample had been taken in a German restaurant and that it was possible someone had spiked his food. Botha also claimed he had been prescribed the drug for an arm injury. The fight was declared a no contest, and the IBF does not recognize him as a former champion. So, this makes sense. This dude was lying, making up excuses, you know, for one to the next. But they stripped him of his IBF belt, and they don't recognize him as a former champion, although he beat Axel Schultz, but he was on Nandrolone. In 2000, Mike Tyson destroyed Andrew Golota. Mike Tyson smoked weed and cheated his drug tests by using a Whizzinator before one of his most devastating KOs against Golota. Tyson crushed Golota inside just 2 rounds. After Golota failed to emerge for the 3rd round, Golota suffered a broken cheekbone, concussion, and a neck injury. But Tyson's victory high was short-lived after he tested positive for marijuana, declaring the fight a no contest. Tyson's remarkable career was riddled with controversies, but it is only now that he has admitted to smoking pot before this fight. So even for Mike Tyson, he lost this fight against Golota. Not in the ring, but he lost it on paper. James Toney. In 2005, he beat John Ruiz for the WBA heavyweight title. James Toney then tested positive for steroids following his historic win over John Ruiz. James Toney tested positive for Nandrolone. Should the positive test finding hold up, Toney's win over John Ruiz would be changed to a no contest, and John Ruiz would regain his WBA champion status. And that's exactly what happened. James Toney tested positive for Nandrolone, and then his win over John Ruiz was removed and turned into a no contest / no decision. 2012, Antonio Tarver, the former light heavyweight title holder, fought Latif Coyote to a draw. Tarver's draw was then changed to a no decision after he tested positive for drostanolone. The CSA's director stated that Tarver has been suspended for his infraction and fined $2,500 of his $1.1 million purse, which is nothing. Dodd also identified the banned substance as drostanolone, adding that the draw between Tarver and Coyote will be reflected as a no decision pretty soon, which, looking at Tarver's resume, this fight is a no decision. Even though it ended in a draw, it's still a no decision for Latif Coyote and Antonio Tarver because Tarver tested positive for steroids. In the same year, 2012, Dillon White fought Sandor Bologna. White was banned in 2012 for using methylhexanamine, MHA, in his victory over Bologna. White claimed that he did not knowingly take MHA, and his appeal was rejected because he did not do enough to check the supplement's ingredients. The supplement was described on the container as an ultra-intense muscle supplement, giving strength, energy, power, and endurance, said the chairman of the blah, blah, blah. It was plainly intended to be a performance enhancement supplement, which an athlete should only take after having taken great care to ensure that it does not contain prohibited substance. The athlete took no steps to make any proper inquiries of his manager or coach, any person with medical or anti-doping expertise, or the sports authorities as to whether the supplement was safe to take. A 1-minute search on the internet in respect of Jack 3D or listed ingredient, dimethyl blah 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 blah, would have revealed that product might contain a prohibited substance. The bottom line is, all he had to do was look on the fucking ingredients, read the damn ingredients, and it clearly says dimethyl blah blah blah-amine in the damn ingredients. He didn't even read the bottle, and he just took it.
What? What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
So White now loses that 9th victory as a result of his ban, a technical knockout of Bologna, on the night of his positive test, and is suspended from competition until 2012-2014. However, if you look at White's resume, there is no contest or no decision when it comes to Sandor baloney. It is looked at as a TKO. They did absolutely nothing to this. So someone bought this. Someone paid enough bread to make this as a TKO instead of a no contest of what he should have on his resume. And he knew what he was doing was wrong. He knew what he did was wrong. He accepted the verdict. He accepted everything, because then he said, don't worry, I will be back stronger and much more educated. So he knew he fucked up. But yet they're still giving this man a TKO instead of the no contest or the no decision that he was supposed to get. Luis King Kong Ortiz. In 2014, Luis Ortiz tested positive for the banned substance nandrolone in the wake of last month's first round knockout of Latif Coyote, and has been temporarily suspended by the Nevada State Athletic Commission pending a hearing. Ortiz's positive test for nandrolone metabolites indicates that he administered or used a prohibitive substance before the contest. Ortiz failed to disclose his use of nandrolone. Ortiz faces up to 100% fine of his purse, although Tarver only lost $2,500 of his $1.1 million. And then Ortiz also faces up to a 1-year suspension from boxing if it's discovered to be guilty, although other fighters fought within the same year of testing positive for banned substance. But whatever. In addition, Ortiz's victory over Coyote will also be changed to a no contest. Now, mind you now, Dillon White tested positive 2 years prior, and his positive test awarded him a TKO. Did not change anything, although they said they would. However, Luis Ortiz does have a no contest. Luis Ortiz did get suspended for a year. Dillon White got suspended for 2 years. But yet, here he is. And the reason why Dillon White got suspended for 2 years, because he was a fucking idiot. Didn't even read the Bible.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
But yet Ortiz gets suspended, fined, and has a no contest. Just like the other fighters that were prior to Dillon White getting his failed drug tests. 2015, Tyson Fury beats Christian Hammer and pops dirty, he and his cousin Huey, for nandrolone. Tyson Fury is now free to fight after receiving a backdated 2-year ban from UCAD back to December 2015. Fury's cousin and fellow heavyweight fighter Huey both tested positive for the banned steroid nandrolone. Both men blamed the result on eating uncastrated boar meat. So they was eating baby back ribs with the dick still on. The two heavyweights claimed they had never knowingly or deliberately committed any anti-doping rule violation and have accepted the backdated 2-year ban. Fury says, "I'm a fighting man through and through, and I've never backed down from anyone in my life, and I was certainly not going to back down from fighting this dispute. Huey and I have maintained our innocence from day one, and we're now happy that it has finally been settled with UCAD and that we can move forward knowing that we will not be labeled drug cheats." What? You accepted the plea. That means you accepted guilt. But UCAD said, as part of the compromise deal, UCAD withdrew a charge against Fury of failure to provide a sample in September 2016 when he was on coke. However, his February 2015 win over Christian Hammer has been officially disqualified, meaning it should be a no D or a no contest. All titles, prize money, and ranking points that Fury secured as a result of this victory in this fight are forfeited, which means if he was fighting for the mandatory spot, or whatever that case may be, then he lost that. If he was fighting for anything in this fight. He lost that.
Everything gone. Their homes, their church, everything gone.
That's what that means. That's what forfeited means. But anyways, the result of this fight will now likely be changed to a no contest, which it wasn't. The UCAD statement read, Tyson Fury and Hughie Fury have agreed to resolve the proceeding by UCAD against Tyson Fury and Hughie Fury based on the presence of nandrolone in urine samples that they provided after their respective fights in February of 2015. UCAD's position is that the anti-doping rule violations it has asserted have been committed and the consequences set out in the UCAD anti-doping rules should apply.
This council has no hesitation in proclaiming you all
Guilty. 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 Guilty.
So I have no idea how Fury can just run around telling people that he's now innocent. No, you agreed. You accepted the fact that you cheated. You accepted the 2-year ban, backdated 2-year ban. UCAD said, again, that the violations it has asserted have been committed, meaning you took nandrolone. And the consequences set out by UCAD, meaning you forfeited everything that you won by beating Hammer. So I have no idea how there is a RTD on Tyson Fury's resume and not a no contest. And the fact that no one's talking about this except for X, shout out to Expert Genius. No one's talking about it. They just blow right over this. Says all you need to know. Once again, shout out to Expert Genius for putting this out there. Go sub to my brother X. Bftb. Shout out to the mighty LDBC.